Let us look at this concept, this word, if you like, philosophy. So in my PowerPoint, I go into more details now. The word philosophy is used outside of the schools, the academia, the universities. People use the word philosophy all the time. And the way they use it in general, they are using it correctly in some sense, right? So now we're diving into more detailed understanding. First of all, we associate this word with trying to answer, we call them big questions, questions that seem to have no answer. What is life? What's the meaning of life? Does God exist? Can you prove that God exists? Do we have free will? Of course we have free will. Can you prove we have free will? What is beauty? All right. Philosophy does deal with these big questions, but it is not about the question. Philosophy also deals with small questions. What makes for a good diet? What makes for a great car? Can also be conceived as philosophical questions. What makes philosophy unique is not the particular question. Okay? What makes philosophy unique is the particular answer that it is seeking. From the Greek language, philo and sophia. Philo means love, and Sophie means wisdom. So we can say philosophy is the love of wisdom. That's what it denotes from the language. But Socrates, the father of philosophy, said philosophy was the pursuit of wisdom. Okay, so when you're doing philosophy, you're pursuing wisdom. You're looking for an answer, but the answer that's called is called wisdom. So we need to focus now on the concept of wisdom itself. And what does that mean? You're seeking wisdom. What does that mean? It's complicated. So we're going to do an analysis, a general analysis of what the word means. All right. In the core, we have that word wisdom. On the outside are the minimum meaning to this word when you use it in its truest form. The first thing to say about this word wisdom, it means the absolute truth. But notice in the presentation in front of you, I have put it in gray and I have bracketed. Okay. In philosophy, when you want to use the word absolute, I mean absolute in all direction, it's very difficult to give a meaning to what that means. Okay. Truth, we have a good, clear sense of what truth is. But to say absolute truth means timeless truth. How can I, a mortal, know about timeless truth when I have a finite amount of time that I live? All right. So in front of you right now, I'm looking at two ways you can approach this concept of absolute truth. All right. On the top right, we call it infallible knowledge. If you know something and that which you know cannot be made false, you cannot make it false in any way from all different directions, we call it infallible knowledge. And that would resemble what we call wisdom, sometimes called intellectual wisdom. Okay. Another way to approach something that could be a timeless truth would be useful and reliable knowledge that I bet you know about. You've ever heard the statement, a friend in need is a friend indeed? A bit of wisdom. You know, the philosophy of the past becomes the hand-me-down wisdom of the present time. Okay? So if something could be absolutely true, it would be a truth that life experiences cannot make false, useful and reliable again, again, again. If someone truly is your friend, over time, they'll be there for your good time and your bad time. Okay? This form of wisdom is called practical wisdom, wisdom based on life experiences. So on the one hand, we have the idea of wisdom based on intellectual analyses, when you look at something from outside and you cannot make it false, so therefore you accept it as a bit of wisdom. Similarly, you have certain life experiences, you codify it in language, and it is not seen by your reasoning in any way that could be false in the future. Again, we approach this idea of absolute truth in ways that we as humans can embrace. The last component about this word wisdom is that the idea that wisdom is the inverse or the opposite of conceit. Conceit is when you take something to be true, absolutely true, but you have no evidence, no argument for it, you're just stating it. And in fact, you get annoyed when people challenge you. These two are opposite to each other, black and white, up and down, all right? So when you're seeking wisdom and you think it's the absolute truth, you may get caught up in conceit. If you want to do philosophy, that is your greatest nightmare. When you think you have some infallible knowledge, you have some strong, immovable life experiences, remember the Socrates, the philosopher Socrates, the father of philosophy, who said, if you want to truly, truly pursue philosophy, you must abandon the conceit of knowledge. You must stop thinking you know it without evidence, without proof. If you say, I know it, use the word know, then you should be able to give some kind of evidence, even as your own personal life experiences or some logical truth. Otherwise, you could say, I believe or have an opinion. Unless you can give some argument of that type, you don't have that knowledge. You're embracing conceit. And for to do philosophy in the right way, you have to abandon that conceit. Okay? Last notion of looking at the word philosophy is what professionals use in the academic system. These are working definitions that most of them will accept. Philosophy is thinking about thinking. When you're doing philosophy, you're often doing introspection. You're looking at your own thoughts and going over them and validating that they are correct, how they are true, what's their weakness and strength. Generally, when you're philosophizing like this, there's two. You have an idea, and then you're looking at the opposite to the idea, back and forth, reflecting on your thoughts, on your ideas. Another form in the academic system is this idea: philosophy is the rational analysis of reality, knowledge, and ethics. You're looking at things logically. No matter what the topic is, you're trying to pursue that wisdom, but you're doing a logical analysis to get deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? When we say wisdom, you've grounded your truth on the highest truth that you can at this time, right? The highest truth that you can find at this time. And this would be the sort of thing you would get in a classroom environment. You're analyzing reality, you're analyzing abortion, ethics, and you're just going deeper and deeper, deeper as you can, just for a small period of time, boom, all right? When you're doing the more personal philosophy, you look at your own philosophical position, then you're doing the top one, okay? Philosophy is thinking about thinking, reflecting on your thoughts, not accepting your thoughts as being true, or even just in virtue of your having them. You're willing to criticize your own self. A real philosopher is very, very much self-critical. Okay, so these are working definitions, professional definitions amongst the educated folks when they're using the word philosophy. Okay.